Welcome to ELIS 2601, Childhood Development, Learning, and the Arts. I'm Dr. Lillian Lewis, and I'll be your instructor for this course. And I also have to say that I'm the designer of the course. This is a course that is near and dear to my heart because it draws on a variety of experiences that I've had professionally, and it pulls from a lot of contemporary research on childhood development, learning, and arts education and arts integration, as well as play theory and other contemporary theories that are relative to early childhood education and young children's learning. So, for starters, I just want to say if you haven't had a chance to do this already, please spend some time reviewing the syllabus. The syllabus is your guide for what will be happening over the course of this class. And the syllabus is organized in a way that I believe delivers you a clear outline of the content we'll be covering. The only thing that is not included in the syllabus are these videos, obviously, and also the readings and other dynamic course media that I'll be linking in each week of the course as this course is online. So if you are taking this course as an online course, what you'll find is that the first good news that you have is that there is no textbook. All of your readings will be available online. All of your readings are at no cost to you. The only thing that the readings cost are your careful attention and effort to read them. One of my recommendations to you is that if you have difficulty reading um, PDFs on a computer or a tablet or other device, you might want to print these out. I strongly recommend that you underline and highlight interesting points in the passage. If there are key ideas or concepts that you want to keep track of, this is an easy way for you to gain access to those because the readings are integral to what we'll be doing for the assignments of the week and for the activities that we're doing. So there are some graded and non-graded things that will hinge on these readings, and these are really crucial to you. And one tip I'll give you that I didn't learn until I was a master's degree student was that when you print out all these PDF readings, what you can do is if you have them in paper format, punch holes in them and put them in a 3-ring binder. The exciting thing about that, if there is such a thing as exciting reading material, is that you effectively are creating your own course textbook. And this is going to be a useful tool for you to refer back to throughout your time as a student at Youngstown State University. So I would strongly recommend that you print out your readings, that you read them carefully, that you underline, that you highlight, and that you write notes or you attach sticky notes within that so that you have information to help you move forward through the week of assignments related to those readings. So each week will have its own set of assignments, and each week will have its own set of readings and activities and things like that. What you'll notice is if you review the syllabus carefully, I have set it up so that each week I kind of break it down by category. So the categories that I have in the right-hand column, the far right-hand column as you look at your syllabus, are readings, which is pretty self-explanatory. These are things you should read. That's the first thing you should do in the week is after you open Blackboard and you see the content for the week open up, review the content, see what's happening in the sequence. And what you'll see is that each week I'm telling you that your order of operations for what you should do for the week is to look at the readings. The second thing you're going to do is to watch videos, which is what you're doing now. So hopefully you've done this in order for week 1. And if not, moving forward for week 2 and 3 and so on, that what I would like you to do is read the reading first. That is going to be the foundation for everything that we build on for the week. So do the readings first, then watch videos. The next thing you're going to do is what I call a make assignment. A make assignment is an ungraded assignment that is crucial to helping push your understanding. So it's taking some of the surface level understanding of the readings and it's engaging in an interactive way. So for instance, I may be asking you to pull some sort of surface level information from the readings to talk a little bit about your own prior experience or knowledge as it relates to education. So those make assignments are also about engaging meaningfully with educational technology. So, as often as possible, I try to introduce you to new or effective educational applications or tools that you can use for digital learning in your own classroom. So, very often, I'm interested in this idea of practicing what I preach. And if I tell you it's important to meaningfully integrate technology into your class, I'm going to show you how to do that. So there will be different kinds of things we're doing each week in that make category. So the make category is about kind of starting to synthesize or make sense of your reading. So make means two things. You're making something, but you're also making sense. So I'm really interested in this idea of the process of sense making. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to delve into the assignment for the week. And you should start looking at the assignment early in the week and processing it because they usually take a little time. This is where you're getting into deeper synthesis. So you had an opportunity to do a make assignment. You've had an opportunity to do the make assignment, and you've started to think about your reading. And then the assignment is often where we get into the synthesis of not just the theories and concepts that we're talking about, but we're also getting into things like how this has classroom applications. So this is where in the assignment, you're often thinking about how the knowledge that you gained from what we've been reading or doing can come into your early childhood classroom. So a lot of these assignments are contingent on you having some understanding because we're making a leap. Each of the assignments is an arts integration assignment. So effectively, we're utilizing music, we're utilizing dance, we're utilizing visual art, we're utilizing design and architecture, and we're utilizing performing arts to convey concepts that we understand. So there are lots of different ways we can think about the role of arts in education. One of the things that the arts can do is to collect data or to gather information in ways that other forms can't. Another way that the arts are engaged in education is to share results or share knowledge. And so, very often, when we look at a movie like a documentary, that's what the documentary is doing. The documentary is sharing knowledge in a format that's accessible. And there's more that we could say about that in the concept of transmedia studies, the idea that we're telling a story across different media forms, but ultimately we're kind of dipping our toe in that. So each assignment is an exercise in sharing our knowledge through a new media or through a media that is arts based. And then the final thing that we're going to do is we're having a traditional discussion board each week. And this is a chance where we just use text to think through the ideas that we've understood through the process. So this is referring directly back to the reading. You'll have a scripted prompt that I ask you to respond to. You have to create an initial post in order to join the conversation. So you'll be writing your post without seeing other people's posts. And then after you write your post, you'll be able to see other people's posts. And I'm asking you to respond to those as well. That's all outlined in the syllabus, and I don't necessarily want to read the syllabus to you in a video because I think that would be an exercise in absurdity. But you have the syllabus available to you. Please review it carefully. And that's sort of the key points in terms of your weekly assignments. The other thing I want to talk about are the conceptual areas. Again, because this is a course I designed, I'm kind of trying to think through 3 large conceptual areas that focus on areas of the arts that connect to different conceptual issues that we're dealing with in this class. So again, some of your goals for this class are to do things like describe childhood development. And we're going to be looking at traditional theories of childhood development. We'll also be looking at contemporary theories in childhood development. And we'll be thinking about things like post-developmental theory. What does it mean to think about young children outside of strict developmental models? But importantly, for the purpose of your sort of foundation to understanding childhood development, we'll also dive into traditional developmental theories because those are sort of essential to the conversation. We'll be talking about the role of play. Play is very important, and play is not frivolous. play is crucial to young children's development in multiple domains. And we've got 5 kind of critical domains of learning that we're interested in, and play accomplishes supporting all 5 of those domains of learning. And then, of course, we want to discuss the role of arts education in the early childhood classroom, and to think about where arts education fits into our general elementary classroom space, and how we can make our classroom conducive to creativity and all the benefits that come along with arts education. And we want to also spend some time thinking about the classroom as the teacher, illustrating that the classroom has the capability to be a teacher to students, and that indoor and outdoor learning spaces are crucial to learning experiences for young people. And we want to demonstrate our ability as educators to engage all students through diversity and connection with families and connection with community. We'll talk about community in a really complex sense, not just necessarily community that is about proximity, but we'll talk about community broadly. We also want to think about the relationship of physical and cognitive development. We want to think about what meaningful arts integration is versus what sort of product-based arts activities are. We want to think about the role of motivation in the classroom. We want to, of course, think about the importance of differentiation and accommodations for students with a variety of learning needs. And then we'll kind of engage in play-based theories in relation to all of that. So in summary, that is kind of an overview of our syllabus that gives you sort of the high points in terms of my thinking of developing the class. I will say that there are aspects of this class that require some hands-on interaction. There are no supplies listed or needed. I'm not asking you to go out and buy expensive art materials, or to go out and buy props, or go out and purchase scripts or soundtracks or things like that. I want you to be able to use what's on hand, because from a practical level, as someone who's worked as a classroom teacher and has worked as a museum educator, I've worked in a variety of community learning settings, the one thing that I think is really important to do is to teach you how to do a lot with a little. So we're going to be doing all these hands-on activities using what you have on hand. The idea here is not that we're necessarily interested in the preciousness of a material, as much as that we're interested in the possibilities of any material. We want to explore the properties of materiality, because material studies is a big part of what we do in early childhood education, going all the way back to Friedrich Froebel, when he talked about these gifts. The modern father of kindergarten was interested in materials, and so I'm interested in materials too, but in more of kind of a complex contemporary way. The other thing that you need to know is that you will be engaged in digital content production, not just consuming. So while I expect that you engage in readings and you engage in watching videos, I'm also going to ask you to engage actively in meaningful discussion boards, which I already mentioned, but also that several of these assignments require you to make YouTube videos or to make content for other apps. And that's because I'm interested in trying to help you kind of get aware of your own thinking and your own processes, and to sort of think about the potential for digital spaces to create learning communities. And the other thing that you're going to be doing is thinking about what it looks like to understand teaching observation from a digital perspective. So you'll be doing some classroom observations for your critical task using a YouTube playlist of teaching videos. So instead of going out to a classroom and observing within the classroom, which is preferable, frankly, you will be observing some YouTube videos that will give you opportunity to do some field notes. We'll talk more about what field notes look like. I'll give you an example of my field notes, and then you will be able to take your own field notes. Critical also to that task is that you will be creating digital products that are both text and image. So I'm asking you to create images and text that reflect on your experience of observing these classroom videos. And these are not completely unscripted. You're going to have some prompts, some things that I'm asking you specifically to reflect on. And you should start working on those in the first week. You should start watching the videos when you have time and start taking some notes, because by the end of this course, you should have 15 different reflections on these classroom videos, because ultimately we want to think about putting theory into practice. There's a relationship between theory and practice, and it's great for us to talk about all these ideas of how kids learn, but ultimately we need to see that happening, right? So, so you're going to see some of that happening. You're going to watch some videos and you're going to take some notes, and then you're going to think about what you saw. You're going to create stuff based on your understanding. And my hope here is that you get this opportunity over the course of 15 different reflections to see your thinking shift, to see your understanding change, and to also understand that your observational skills will improve. So ultimately, you're going to do these 15 reflections, and those are due at the final week of the course. They'll be uploaded to TaskStream, and I'll give you more information about that within the critical task folder. So you're going to have some information in the critical task folder, and then you're going to have a playlist of YouTube videos to watch. But ultimately, what I want you to keep in mind is that you're both gaining information from digital spaces and you're providing knowledge and experience and information to digital spaces. So you're both a content consumer and producer. You're going to do both of those things because that's part of what we do in the classroom. If we're in a face-to-face classroom, you're both taking in information in the face-to-face and you're putting information out there in the face-to-face. So you're not only teaching your students, but you're learning from your students. And it is this recursive cycle of interaction. And we work to try to kind of replicate that here in the digital space. It's not going to be identical, but there are going to be a lot of similarities. And my hope is that there will be some meaningful interactions and some building and layering and intertwining, and that we're able to kind of play off each other and learn together. The last thing I want to tell you that is important is if you feel like you're getting in the weeds, if you feel a little lost, every week I'm going to have open office hours in Blackboard. So Blackboard has a feature called Collaborate. There'll be a link in our class for Blackboard Collaborate. Every Wednesday from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., I will be available for office hours. So from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., I'm going to log on. I'm going to sit there in Blackboard Collaborate, and you can log on and you can talk with me on Blackboard Collaborate. You can type in the chat. You can open video. You can show me works in progress. If you want to hold up your work and say, hey, how does this look? I can give you feedback. I can critique your work, or I can answer questions that you have. Or if you just want to check in and say hello, make sure I'm an actual human being, you can do that as well. So it's an open space for you. The other thing I want to say is I'm aware that lots of us have lots of things going on this summer. And if you need to meet with me at another time and you would like to meet via Blackboard Collaborate at a time that is not Wednesday from 1 to 2 p.m., then please, by all means, email me 24 hours in advance. Give me some prep time, because I also have other things that I'm doing. I'm grading your work. I'm working on other projects. And I'm also a person that has to eat and sleep and things like that. But I'm happy to accommodate you. If that time doesn't work, email me 24 hours in advance. We'll set something up and I can meet you in Blackboard Collaborate at a time that works best for you. So that's about it. That's the intro for the course. I'm really excited about this course. This is my baby. This is a course that I'm really excited about, and I think that it's going to be really engaging for you. I think it's going to be really informative. And my hope is that you leave this not only knowing a lot more about childhood development and about the importance of play and understanding contemporary theory in early childhood, but that you have a confidence to integrate the arts meaningfully into your classroom, because you're liberated from the obligation of being the specialist. It means that you have the power to do all kinds of amazing things in your classroom with the arts. So hopefully through the course of this class, you will develop that confidence and excitement for the arts in the way that I have it. And I'm really looking forward to working with you. I'm looking forward to getting to know you, and I will see you soon. So good luck.